He is expected to head back to Florida after the arraignment to make remarks at Mar-a-Lago. Our senior congressional correspondent, Rachel Scott, is already there for us. Good morning, Rachel.
Robin, good morning. And it will be the first time that we hear from the former president about the charges that he faces. But we know privately that Trump and his team of advisors have been strategizing about how to turn this into a political advantage. Even as his motorcade left his Mar-a-Lago estate just yesterday, making its way to the airport, we spotted members of his team, including his own son, Eric Trump, hanging out of the windows of the SUV, capturing with their cell phones and video cameras the Trump supporters that were lining the streets. They are hoping that this turns into a political rallying cry. The campaign claims they've already raised $7 million off of this indictment. We know the former president has personally picked up the phone to call top Republicans to rally to his defense. Some Republicans do plan to protest outside of the courthouse in just a few hours. Trump, as we know it, is as defiant as ever. He is the leading Republican candidate at this point, but he will be campaigning as a criminal defendant. George.
Rachel Scott, thanks. Let's bring in our chief Washington correspondent, Karl. So, John, we are going to hear from the president, we think, what, around 8:15 tonight?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get in and out of New York as quickly as he possibly can. You know, he had talked about he was going to have a big show of defiance here, a big display at Trump Tower, at the courthouse. You can tell when you look at him, he's troubled by this. He's going to get in and out absolutely as quickly as possible. But when he gets to Mar-a-Lago, you will see an all-out campaign, not just against Bragg, not just against the judge, but really against the criminal justice system.
He's faced so many investigations over the last 50 years, so many legal proceedings, both civil and for the Trump organization, criminal, but he's never had this moment.
Yeah, I mean, he is going to be a criminal defendant. This is entirely different. And you can see, I mean, look what he, I don't know if you noticed last night, he put out a statement on his social media saying that Bragg should indict himself. I mean, he seems to be really out there on this. And this is going to be his presidential campaign, George. It's going to be not just his defense, his criminal defense in this case, but this is going to be the main subject, the prime subject of his presidential campaign.
One tangible plus sign for the president's campaign, at least right now, raising a ton of money.
He's raising money. You know, they tell us he raised $4 million the day the indictment came out, another $1 million. I wouldn't say it's a ton of money. I mean, I think if you go back and you look at the amount of money he was raising in the early days of his 2016 campaign, you know, it's roughly comparable. And
on that point, it doesn't appear you're going to see major protests today, at least not yet.
I mean, I was at Trump Tower yesterday. You heard Aaron down at the courthouse. I've seen almost no sign of protesters, at least here in New York.
Meantime, we've talked about this case a lot. Meantime, the special counsel Jack Smith has been pursuing this classified documents case in a pretty determined way right now. Lots of new information coming out suggesting that this could be the most serious investigation the president is facing.
I mean, I think this is really what we need to be paying attention to. Look, we know that his lawyer, Trump's lawyer, has been compelled to testify. They've subpoenaed the Secret Service agents. His valet, the Washington Post, is now reporting that his valet has testified that Trump ordered him to move those boxes that contain the classified documents. The charges here are much more serious. We're talking 10 to 20 years maximum sentences, and the level of evidence seems to be much greater.
And what sets this apart from the President Biden, the Vice President Pence cases is this focus on obstruction of justice.
It's obstruction of justice. It's not just possessing the classified documents. It's that he didn't cooperate with investigators in returning them.
Karl, thanks very much. Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.